Monitoring your client's job A, job B ratio is fairly straightforward, and it's indicated on your coach dashboard. So basically, log into your coach account, click on the coach dashboard, and it's going to bring up your list of clients. As you can tell from past videos, the coach dashboard provides a lot of data to the coach to determine where the clients are and where action may be required based on the job search behaviors. So if you look on the dashboard, you can see that there's a job A and a job B column. And if the ratio is not correct, it's going to show an exclamation point as an indicator to action is required. And so it gives a brief description of what the job A, job B ratio should be, which is 1 to 3. That is, for every job A a client identifies, they should identify 3 job Bs. Now, of course, this varies from client to client, but realistically, a client has a better chance or better opportunity to identify a job B. And there's definitely many more job B opportunities than there's going to be job A. So say, for an example, a client identifies an accountant as a job A. They're obviously going to look for an accountant, but it could perhaps be very competitive in light of the competition, labor market conditions, etc., etc. So really what you want the client to focus on are job A's, but also job B's. Those are the jobs that can make them more competitive for that job A, make their resume look more meaningful to an employer, etc., etc. So if a job A is an accountant for a client, a job B could be an accounts payable clerk, it could be accounts receivable clerk, etc., etc. So really you want to show a ratio. When a client is conducting a strategic job search, essentially they're conducting something that's done in parallel with a job A and a job B. So really you want to indicate, or identify if the ratio is appropriate. And what we found through the research is that the most appropriate ratio between the job A and the job Bs is 1 to 3. So in this particular example, this client is not following that ratio of 1 to 3. They have 45 job A's and job B. Really what we're looking at is a ratio of 1 to maybe half. There seems to be half as many job B's as job A. We want to flip this right around and make this around 150 job B's to 100 job A. So we have that roughly that 1 to 3 ratio. So this could be concerning, again, depending on the client. I know this client has been unemployed for 57 weeks, or at least in the system for 57 weeks, and obviously they're not moving towards employment at a quick pace. So perhaps the job A, job B ratio is what's forcing the client or causing the client not to find employment. So maybe I want to approach the client and talk to the client about, it's great, you're able to find some, obviously identify some job B's, job A's, but let's also focus on some job B's, because job B's are really going to make you more competitive. And how it makes you more competitive is, one, it's based on the criteria that you've established for a job B, but also it'll allow you to develop some skills, some competencies that are required for the job A so that your resume looks good. Gives you some access to some contacts within a particular organization if you were to take it. It perhaps allows you to find the ideal organization where you can be promoted eventually to the job A. So really it gives you a strategic advantage in terms of your job search and moving ultimately for your job A. The unfortunate reality may be that job A is just out of reach, just for whatever reason, as was mentioned before, whether it be the labor market, client's background, etc. So job B, although it doesn't need to be the main focus, it needs to be a focus in the job search. So in fact, they're conducting a parallel job search by identifying job A's and job B's. So what SnagPad does automatically for you is show you if that ratio is out of whack by displaying an exclamation point. So again, if an exclamation point in my caseload, I can see I want to address these job A, B. So I may contact them through email. I may look at the chat to see whether or not they're online, or I might just simply send an email out. But I would want to definitely address this ratio and find out what's going on with regards to the job A, job B. Again, in order to increase the likelihood of moving your client towards employment, you want to have a ratio of job A's to job B's from 1 to 3. Again, you're not dissuading the individual for looking for job A, but you're getting them to think strategically about selecting other jobs that potentially make them more competitive for the job A.